Life is a journey filled with twists, turns, and unexpected challenges. We all face moments that test our character, moments that push us to question who we are and what we stand for. In those moments, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, lost, or even defeated. But within each of us lies the potential for something greater, something stronger. There's a way to navigate these trials with grace, strength, and purpose. This path isn't hidden in some faraway place. It's right here, waiting to be embraced. At the heart of this journey to becoming a better person is the wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that has endured for centuries, not because it's rigid or outdated, but because it speaks to the very core of what it means to live a life of integrity, growth, and meaning. Stoicism teaches that no matter what life throws your way, you have the power to respond with clarity, patience, and resilience. You have the power to become the best version of yourself, not through wishful thinking, but through concrete, intentional actions. So many of us go through life feeling as though we're constantly reacting to stress, to people, to situations beyond our control. We are pulled in every direction by emotions, demands, and expectations. Yet, beneath the surface, we crave peace. We crave a sense of control over our lives, a sense of purpose that fuels our days with meaning. The truth is, peace and purpose don't come from trying to control everything around you. They come from learning how to control the one thing that truly matters, yourself. You might be wondering what it takes to step onto this path. It's not about perfection. Becoming a better person is not about never making mistakes, never feeling angry or sad, or always being happy. It's about learning how to rise above those moments when things feel messy or hard. It's about developing the inner strength to keep moving forward, even when life seems to be pulling you back. Stoicism teaches that personal growth begins when you focus on what's within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, and let go of the rest. In a world that constantly tells you to chase more money, more success, more validation, Stoicism offers a different approach. It says that true contentment, true fulfillment, comes from within. It's not about having more, but about being more present, more mindful, more in tune with what truly matters. It's about knowing your values and living by them every single day. It's about recognizing that your character, your integrity, is far more valuable than any external reward or recognition. This philosophy isn't just for the philosophers of old. It's for you. It's for anyone who is tired of being pushed around by life's circumstances and is ready to take responsibility for their own happiness, their own growth. Stoicism invites you to look at life's challenges not as setbacks, but as opportunities. Opportunities to grow stronger, opportunities to practice patience, opportunities to become the person you were always meant to be. There's something incredibly empowering about realizing that, no matter what happens around you, you are in control of your own mind. You are in control of how you choose to respond to the world. And that is where true strength comes from, not from what you have, but from who you are. When you learn to master your emotions, to stand firm in your beliefs, to live according to your values, you become unshakable. You become resilient. You become a beacon of light, not only for yourself, but for others. We all know people who seem to have an inner calm about them. They don't get easily rattled by stress or difficult situations. They seem grounded, confident, at peace. These people aren't born with some special gift. They've cultivated that strength over time. Stoicism teaches that this kind of peace, this kind of strength, is available to anyone willing to put in the work. It's about making small, deliberate choices every day that bring you closer to the person you want to be. And here's the beautiful part. This journey doesn't just benefit you. As you grow, as you become more in control of yourself, more aligned with your values, the people around you benefit as well. Your relationships improve because you're more patient, more understanding. Your work improves because you're more focused, more disciplined. And most importantly, your relationship with yourself improves. You stop being so hard on yourself. You stop living in constant self-doubt or regret. You begin to see yourself as someone capable of incredible growth, someone worthy of respect and love. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, one that requires dedication, self-reflection, and patience. But the rewards are worth every bit of effort. As you learn to apply the principles of Stoicism to your life, you'll notice a shift, not just in how you handle challenges, but in how you view the world. You'll start to see obstacles not as barriers, but as stepping stones. You'll start to see every moment, even the difficult ones, as an opportunity to practice becoming the best version of yourself. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is that external things don't define us. Our reactions to them do. You can't always control what happens, but you can control how you choose to respond. This shift in mindset is powerful because it puts the responsibility and the power back in your hands. No more blaming circumstances or other people for your unhappiness. No more feeling like life is something that happens to you. You are in control. You have the ability to shape your own destiny, starting with your thoughts and actions. As you begin this journey, remember that it's okay to stumble. It's okay to fall short. What matters is that you keep moving forward, that you keep striving to be better, day by day, moment by moment. Stoicism teaches that progress is more important than perfection. Each step you take toward mastering your emotions, aligning with your values, and building resilience is a step toward becoming the best version of yourself. There will be days when it feels hard, when life throws you curveballs and you feel like giving up. But those are the days when Stoicism becomes your greatest ally. Those are the moments when you can tap into the wisdom of this philosophy to remind yourself that you are stronger than any obstacle, more resilient than any setback. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to keep going. Becoming a better person is not about changing who you are at your core. It's about uncovering the potential that already exists within you. It's about nurturing the qualities that lead to a life of fulfillment, purpose, and peace. And it's about doing so with intention, clarity, and a deep commitment to your own growth. As you explore the teachings of Stoicism, you'll find that they offer practical tools for everyday life, tools that can help you navigate everything from personal relationships to career challenges. But more than that, Stoicism offers a way of seeing the world that brings meaning to every moment, every experience. It reminds us that life is not about what happens to us, but about how we choose to live in response to it. This journey is yours to take. It's not about becoming someone else, but about becoming more of who you truly are. Stoicism will guide you along the way, offering wisdom, strength, and clarity. All you need to do is take that first step, knowing that each small change you make brings you closer to a life filled with purpose, peace, and a deep sense of fulfillment. Now that we've laid the foundation for what it truly means to embark on the path of becoming a better person, let's dive deeper into the heart of Stoicism, living according to your values. This is where transformation begins. Your values are more than words, more than ideals. They are the essence of who you are, the compass guiding your actions and decisions. When your life aligns with these core principles, you feel a sense of integrity that can't be shaken, a strength that grows from knowing you're living in harmony with your truest self. But here's the challenge. Living by your values isn't always easy. Life will test you. There will be moments when doing the right thing feels inconvenient, uncomfortable, or even painful. And yet, Stoicism teaches that these very moments are opportunities to practice courage, to strengthen your character, and to stay true to who you are. In a world that often pressures us to conform, to fit in, it takes great strength to hold on to your values. Stoicism reminds us that personal growth comes from this very act of resistance against the tides of external influence. Each time you choose your values over convenience, you become a little more resilient, a little more rooted in your own integrity. And that, in turn, paves the way for becoming a better person, someone who lives authentically, regardless of external circumstances. Living according to your values starts with understanding what they truly are. So often, people rush through life without ever pausing to reflect on what truly matters to them. They make decisions based on habit or on what others expect. Stoicism invites us to slow down and take stock of our core principles. What do you stand for? What do you refuse to compromise on? It's only by answering these questions that you can begin to build a life that aligns with your deepest convictions. This process of self-reflection is crucial. It's about stripping away the noise, the distractions, and tuning into the things that give your life meaning. Once you understand your values, the next step is to ensure your actions align with them. Stoicism teaches that your actions are the truest reflection of your values. It's easy to talk about integrity, kindness, and patience, but these principles only come to life through what you do, especially when no one is watching. It's in the quiet, often unnoticed moments that true character is revealed. Maybe it's choosing honesty even when a small lie would make things easier. Perhaps it's showing kindness when no one expects it, or practicing patience in situations where frustration would be justified. These are the moments that shape you, the moments that define who you truly are. Stoicism encourages you to view each choice, each action, as a chance to align more closely with your values. When you live in alignment with your values, something powerful happens. You experience a profound sense of peace. This isn't the fleeting happiness that comes from external achievements or material possessions. It's a deep internal contentment, knowing that no matter what the world throws at you, you are living authentically. This peace can't be shaken by circumstances because it's rooted in something far more stable, your character. Living in this way also simplifies life. When your values are clear, decisions become easier. You no longer have to second-guess yourself or worry about what others will think. Your values become your guide, your North Star, directing you toward what truly matters. This clarity allows you to move through life with purpose and direction, rather than being swayed by fleeting desires or external pressures. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is that the only thing you truly control is yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your choices. This realization is both empowering and liberating. It means that no matter what happens externally, you can always choose to live according to your values. You can always choose integrity, even when faced with difficulty. This focus on personal responsibility is central to Stoicism. It's easy to blame circumstances or other people for your challenges, but Stoicism calls you to take full responsibility for your life. This isn't about self-blame, but rather about recognizing your power. You have the ability to control how you respond to any situation, and in doing so, you shape your character. By taking ownership of your actions, you gain the freedom to live authentically. You stop being a victim of external forces and start living as the author of your own life. This shift in perspective is transformative. It allows you to approach life with a sense of agency, knowing that every decision you make is an opportunity to align more closely with your values. However, this path is not without its challenges. There will be moments when it feels easier to abandon your values, to take the easy road, to give in to external pressures. In those moments, Stoicism encourages you to focus on the long term, To remember that true fulfillment comes from living in alignment with your values, not from temporary convenience. There's a quiet strength that comes from choosing your values over ease. It's a strength that builds over time, a resilience that becomes a part of who you are. Each time you choose integrity, each time you align your actions with your principles, you become a little stronger, a little more grounded in who you are. This strength is not loud or showy. It's the kind of strength that sustains you through life's ups and downs. It's a strength that gives you the courage to face challenges with grace, knowing that you are rooted in something deeper than external circumstances. This is the strength of character that Stoicism teaches, the strength that comes from living according to your values. When you live this way, you not only transform yourself, but you also impact the people around you. Integrity is contagious. When others see you living authentically, it inspires them to do the same. Your actions become a ripple that spreads outward, influencing your relationships, your community, and even the world. Living according to your values also builds trust. People trust those who are consistent, who live with integrity. They know that you will act according to your principles, even when it's difficult. This trust strengthens your relationships and creates deeper, more meaningful connections. But perhaps the greatest benefit of living in alignment with your values is the sense of self-respect it brings. When you know that you are living authentically, that you are staying true to who you are, you develop a deep sense of respect for yourself. This self-respect is invaluable. It forms the foundation of your self-esteem and confidence, allowing you to move through the world with a quiet assurance. This kind of self-respect can't be given to you by others. It comes from within, from knowing that you are living a life of integrity. It's a respect that remains, even when things don't go as planned, even when you face criticism or setbacks. Because it's based on your values, it's unshakable. This doesn't mean that living according to your values is always easy. There will be times when it feels challenging, when the world seems to be pushing you in a different direction. In those moments, Stoicism encourages you to stay the course, to remember that your values are your foundation, your guiding light. It's in these challenging moments that growth happens. Each time you choose to live according to your values, even when it's difficult, you become a little stronger, a little more resilient. You develop the kind of inner strength that can only come from facing challenges with integrity. And as you grow, you begin to see the impact of living authentically. You notice how your relationships deepen, how your sense of purpose becomes clearer, how your life becomes more meaningful. This is the true reward of living according to your values. Not external success, but the deep, internal fulfillment that comes from knowing you are living a life of integrity. This fulfillment is available to anyone willing to put in the work. It's not about perfection, but about progress. It's about making small, intentional choices every day that align with your values, knowing that each choice brings you closer to the person you want to be. The path to becoming a better person starts with your values. When you live in alignment with them, you unlock a life of purpose, peace, and fulfillment. You develop a sense of inner strength that carries you through life's challenges, a strength that comes from knowing you are living authentically, guided by what truly matters to you. Stoicism teaches that this is the key to personal growth, the key to becoming the best version of yourself. It's not about changing who you are, but about becoming more of who you truly are, about aligning your actions with your deepest values and living a life of integrity. This is the path to true fulfillment, the path to becoming a better person. As you continue to build a life aligned with your values, a deeper challenge begins to reveal itself. Living with integrity requires more than just knowing your values. It demands emotional control. Life will constantly throw situations at you that test your patience, your resolve, and your ability to stay calm under pressure. The key to maintaining your values in these moments is mastering your emotions. Without that control, even the strongest values can waver, and decisions made in emotional turmoil can pull you away from the path of personal growth. Stoicism teaches that while emotions are a natural part of life, they don't have to control us. The Stoic approach to mastering emotional control starts with understanding the difference between what is within our control and what isn't. So often, we get swept away by emotions because we focus on things we can't change, other people's actions, external events, or outcomes that aren't in our hands. This misplaced focus leads to frustration, anger, and anxiety, making it nearly impossible to remain calm. The Stoics emphasize that the first step toward emotional mastery is acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity or indifference. It means recognizing the limits of your influence and letting go of the need to control what you cannot. This shift in focus allows you to center your energy on what you can control, your own thoughts, actions, and reactions. This is where true emotional control begins. When you start to focus inward, you realize that your emotions are not a fixed part of you. They are reactions that arise in response to your thoughts and beliefs. For instance, anger often comes from the belief that things should be different than they are. But by examining that belief, you can begin to loosen the grip of anger. Stoicism encourages you to question the stories you tell yourself about how the world should be. And in doing so, you find that many of your emotional reactions are based on assumptions, not reality. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It's about understanding them, observing them, and ultimately choosing how to respond. Emotions like anger, fear, and frustration are often signals that something within us needs attention. But instead of letting those emotions take over, Stoicism teaches you to pause, reflect, and then act in a way that aligns with your values. This ability to pause before reacting is at the core of emotional control. In moments of emotional intensity, Stoics encourage the practice of distancing yourself from the emotion. This doesn't mean ignoring how you feel, but rather stepping back mentally and observing the emotion as though you are watching it from the outside. This simple shift in perspective creates space between you and the emotion, allowing you to respond from a place of clarity rather than impulsiveness. It's in this space that you find the power to choose your reaction rather than letting the emotion dictate your behavior. Another Stoic practice for mastering emotional control is reframing situations. Often, our emotional reactions come from seeing a situation as a threat or injustice. Stoicism teaches that we have the power to change how we view events. What may seem like a setback can be seen as an opportunity for growth. What feels like an insult can be viewed as a chance to practice patience and forgiveness. By changing the way you interpret events, you can dramatically alter your emotional response. This doesn't mean ignoring difficult feelings or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It's about recognizing that your perception shapes your reality. The way you choose to interpret a situation influences how you feel about it. Stoicism encourages you to constantly ask yourself, is there another way to view this? Is this really as bad as it seems, or am I letting my emotions cloud my judgment? These questions help create the mental distance needed to stay calm and composed. One of the great challenges of emotional control is staying calm when others around you are not. The world is full of people who act out of anger, frustration, and fear, and it's easy to get caught up in their emotions. But Stoicism teaches that your inner peace does not need to be disturbed by the chaos of others. Just because someone else is angry doesn't mean you need to match their anger. You have the choice to remain grounded, to stay in control of your own emotions, regardless of how others behave. This level of emotional control requires practice. It's not something that happens overnight. Stoicism encourages you to view each emotionally charged situation as an opportunity to strengthen your ability to stay calm and balanced. Every time you choose not to react impulsively, you build emotional resilience, and over time, you'll find that the things that used to trigger you no longer have the same power over your emotions. At the heart of Stoic emotional control is the practice of mindfulness. Stoics were, in many ways, early advocates of mindfulness, encouraging individuals to stay present in the moment and to observe their thoughts without judgment. When you are fully present, you are less likely to get lost in emotional spirals or to react out of habit. You can see your thoughts and feelings clearly, and from that place of clarity, you can choose your response. This practice of mindfulness also extends to reflecting on your day. Stoicism encourages self-reflection as a way to understand your emotional triggers and to learn from your experiences. At the end of each day, you can ask yourself, what situations stirred my emotions today? How did I respond? Could I have handled it differently? This kind of reflection helps you grow in emotional control over time, turning each day into an opportunity for personal development. While emotional control might sound like a distant ideal, it's important to remember that small steps lead to big changes. Each time you choose to pause instead of reacting, each time you shift your perspective on a situation, you are training your mind to respond with calmness and clarity. Over time, these small moments of control add up, creating a life that is less reactive and more intentional. Stoicism doesn't ask you to be emotionless. In fact, it recognizes that emotions are a natural part of the human experience. What it offers is a way to engage with your emotions in a healthier, more balanced way. Instead of being swept away by anger or anxiety, you learn to ride the waves of emotion, staying steady and grounded no matter what comes your way. This steady approach to emotions creates a sense of inner peace that extends into all areas of your life. You become less affected by external events, less likely to be thrown off course by the ups and downs of life. Instead, you move through life with a calm confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it with grace and resilience. There's a quiet power in emotional control. It's the kind of power that doesn't need to prove itself or dominate others. Instead, it radiates from within, creating a sense of peace and stability that others can feel. When you are in control of your emotions, you become a source of calm in a world that is often chaotic. This calmness doesn't mean indifference. It's possible to be both calm and passionate, both composed and engaged. Stoicism teaches that emotional control allows you to act with greater purpose. Instead of being driven by fleeting feelings, you can channel your emotions into actions that align with your values and contribute to your growth. There will always be situations that test your emotional control, whether it's a difficult conversation, an unexpected challenge, or the stress of daily life. These moments are opportunities to practice. And each time you practice, you strengthen your ability to stay calm, to stay in control, and to live according to your values. Stoicism teaches that true freedom comes from within. When you are no longer a slave to your emotions, when you can remain balanced and composed no matter what life throws your way, you experience a sense of liberation that few people ever attain. This inner freedom allows you to navigate life with a sense of purpose, clarity, and peace. It's important to remember that mastering emotional control is a lifelong journey. There will be moments when you stumble, when your emotions get the better of you. But Stoicism encourages you not to see these moments as failures, but as opportunities to learn and grow. Each time you reflect on your emotional reactions, you gain insight into yourself, insight that helps you make better choices in the future. This journey toward emotional mastery is deeply personal. It requires honesty with yourself, a willingness to look at your emotions and your reactions with clarity. But as you do this work, you begin to see the power you have to shape your own life. You realize that emotional control is not about denying your feelings, but about choosing how to engage with them in a way that aligns with your highest self. Stoicism gives you the tools to navigate your emotions with wisdom and grace. It teaches that your emotions don't have to control you, that you can remain calm, composed and rational even in the most challenging situations. This ability to master your emotions is one of the most powerful steps you can take on the path to becoming a better person. It allows you to live with integrity, to stay true to your values, and to face life's challenges with strength and resilience. By mastering your emotions, you create a foundation of peace within yourself that cannot be shaken by external events. You become a person who moves through life with purpose, confidence and calm, no matter what challenges arise. And that is the true essence of emotional control, the ability to remain grounded, to act with intention, and to live in harmony with your values. As we build emotional control and learn to stay calm in the face of life's challenges, we begin to see an even deeper truth unfolding. The responsibility for how we react, how we grow, and how we live is entirely in our hands. Stoicism teaches that one of the most transformative steps you can take in life is accepting full responsibility for your actions. This simple yet profound shift is not just about owning up to mistakes. It's about understanding that everything you do, every decision you make, shapes your character and your future. Taking responsibility for your actions can be difficult, especially in a world where it's easy to point fingers and place blame elsewhere. But Stoicism teaches that when you accept full accountability for your choices, you take control of your life. This is the moment when true empowerment begins. No longer a victim of circumstances or external influences, you start to recognize the immense power you hold to shape your destiny. Responsibility means acknowledging that you are the author of your own story. It means understanding that your current situation, whatever it may be, is a result of your past actions and decisions. This can be a humbling realization, but it's also incredibly liberating. When you accept that your actions have led you to where you are, you also realize that new actions can lead you to where you want to be. Stoicism teaches that taking responsibility is not about guilt or self-blame. It's about empowerment. Blame keeps you stuck, waiting for external factors to change. Responsibility frees you, giving you the tools to make changes and take steps toward growth. When you stop waiting for others to fix your problems and begin to take action yourself, you step into a new level of personal power. This shift in mindset is transformative. It changes the way you approach challenges, relationships, and even your own personal growth. You stop seeing yourself as at the mercy of life's events and instead start seeing every situation as an opportunity for learning and improvement. Responsibility means that every mistake becomes a lesson, every setback becomes a stepping stone, and every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth. Taking responsibility also means acknowledging that you are not perfect and that you will make mistakes. Stoicism teaches that mistakes are a natural part of life, but what matters most is how you respond to them. When you take responsibility for your errors, you open the door to growth. You stop fearing failure because you understand that it's not the failure itself that defines you, but how you choose to rise from it. Owning your actions requires humility. It means recognizing that you are always learning and evolving. Stoicism encourages you to approach life with a mindset of continuous improvement, knowing that each day presents new opportunities to grow. When you take responsibility for your actions, you no longer fear criticism because you understand that feedback is an essential part of the journey toward becoming a better person. Responsibility also extends to how you treat others. Your relationships are a reflection of your actions, and when you take full ownership of how you interact with others, those relationships begin to flourish. Stoicism teaches that we are all interconnected, and taking responsibility for your role in those connections is key to building meaningful and lasting bonds. In any conflict or disagreement, it's easy to focus on what the other person did wrong, but Stoicism encourages you to look inward first. What role did you play in the situation? How could you have acted differently? By taking responsibility for your part, you diffuse tension and create space for resolution. This approach not only strengthens relationships, but also fosters personal growth. The power of responsibility lies in its ability to create change. When you take responsibility for your actions, you no longer waste energy complaining about things beyond your control. Instead, you focus on what you can do to improve the situation. This shift in focus brings clarity and direction, helping you move forward with purpose. Taking responsibility also helps you build trust. People respect those who are accountable for their actions, who don't make excuses or shift blame. When you consistently take responsibility, others know they can rely on you to act with integrity, and this trust strengthens your connections, both personally and professionally. When you embrace responsibility, you also begin to let go of resentment. Blame and resentment are heavy burdens, and they keep you trapped in a cycle of negativity. Stoicism teaches that responsibility is the antidote to resentment, because it shifts the focus from what others have done to what you can do. This doesn't mean excusing bad behavior, but it means reclaiming your power by focusing on your own actions. At the heart of taking responsibility is the understanding that you control how you respond to every situation. No matter what happens, you have the power to choose your reaction. This knowledge is incredibly freeing because it means that no one else can dictate your happiness or success. Only you can. Taking responsibility doesn't mean carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. It means recognizing what is within your control and focusing your energy there. When you stop trying to control things that are out of your hands, you release a tremendous amount of stress and anxiety. Stoicism teaches that peace comes from accepting what you cannot change and taking responsibility for what you can. As you start to take responsibility for your actions, you'll notice a shift in how you view challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as insurmountable problems, you begin to see them as opportunities to exercise your power of choice. Every challenge becomes a test of your ability to act with integrity, and each time you choose to take responsibility, you grow stronger. This approach to life fosters resilience. When you take responsibility, you no longer feel helpless in the face of adversity. You understand that while you can't always control what happens, you can control how you respond. This mindset builds inner strength and helps you navigate life's difficulties with grace. Responsibility also fosters a sense of ownership over your life's direction. When you take full accountability for your actions, you stop waiting for circumstances to change and start taking steps to create the life you want. This proactive approach puts you in the driver's seat of your own life, guiding you toward your goals with purpose and clarity. One of the most powerful aspects of taking responsibility is how it transforms your mindset. You stop seeing problems as external forces working against you and start seeing them as opportunities for personal growth. This shift allows you to approach life with curiosity and a willingness to learn from every experience. Taking responsibility doesn't mean taking on everything by yourself. Stoicism teaches the value of community and the importance of relying on others when needed. But even when you seek help, Taking responsibility means being clear about your role in the situation and being willing to do your part. As you continue to take responsibility for your actions, you'll notice that your sense of self-worth increases. There is a deep satisfaction that comes from knowing you are in control of your own life. When you stop blaming others and start taking ownership of your choices, you build a sense of confidence and self-respect. This confidence is not based on external achievements or validation from others. It comes from within, from knowing that you are living in alignment with your values and taking responsibility for your own growth. This internal confidence is unshakable because it's rooted in your character, not in the opinions or actions of others. Responsibility also brings with it a sense of freedom. When you stop blaming others or external circumstances for your situation, you free yourself from the emotional chains of anger, frustration, and resentment. You realize that you are in control of your own happiness, and this realization allows you to move through life with a sense of peace and empowerment. One of the most profound lessons in taking responsibility is that it's never too late to start. No matter where you are in life, no matter what mistakes you've made in the past, you always have the power to take responsibility for your future. This understanding allows you to approach life with a sense of hope and possibility. When you take responsibility for your actions, you also develop a deeper sense of empathy. You realize that everyone is navigating their own challenges and that mistakes are part of the human experience. This empathy allows you to approach others with compassion rather than judgment, strengthening your relationships and fostering a sense of connection. Taking responsibility for your actions is not about achieving perfection. It's about growth, about constantly striving to be better than you were yesterday. Stoicism teaches that personal growth comes from consistently taking responsibility for your actions, learning from your mistakes, and making better choices each day. This ongoing process of self-improvement creates a sense of momentum in your life. Each time you take responsibility, you move closer to becoming the person you want to be. And as you grow, you inspire those around you to do the same. Responsibility, like integrity, is contagious. One of the greatest gifts of taking responsibility is the sense of peace it brings. When you take ownership of your actions, you no longer feel weighed down by guilt or regret. You understand that mistakes are part of the journey, and that what matters most is how you choose to move forward. As you continue to practice responsibility, you'll find that your life becomes more intentional. You stop drifting through life, reacting to circumstances, and start making deliberate choices that align with your values and goals. This sense of purpose gives your life meaning and direction. Taking responsibility is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It requires courage, humility, and a commitment to personal growth. But as you embrace responsibility, you'll discover that it transforms every aspect of your life, from your relationships to your sense of self-worth, to your overall happiness. This transformation begins with a single choice, the choice to take responsibility for your actions. It's a choice that can be made in every moment, with every decision. And with each choice, you move closer to becoming the person you were meant to be, someone who lives with integrity, purpose, and strength. As we continue to take full responsibility for our actions, we begin to notice something transformative. Life itself shifts when you realize that even in the midst of challenges, there is so much to be grateful for. Stoicism teaches that gratitude isn't just about saying thank you for the obvious blessings. It's about cultivating a mindset that finds value in every experience, no matter how small. When you can do this, you unlock a deeper, more lasting form of happiness. Gratitude is more than just a feeling. It is a practice, a way of seeing the world that shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. This practice requires mindfulness, a deliberate awareness of the present moment and the countless little things that we often overlook. Life's simple joys, a meal with loved ones, a quiet moment in nature, the sound of laughter, are always around us. Stoicism teaches that by focusing on these small moments, we begin to cultivate a deep sense of appreciation for life as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. Many people wait for something grand to happen before they feel grateful, but Stoicism encourages us to find beauty in the mundane. When you train your mind to recognize the small pleasures of life, you begin to experience a profound sense of fulfillment. This doesn't mean you ignore life's difficulties or challenges. Rather, it means you learn to balance them with a deep appreciation for the good that is always present, no matter how subtle. Practicing gratitude shifts your perspective from one of scarcity to one of abundance. It's easy to get caught up in what's missing, whether it's material possessions, relationships, or opportunities. But Stoicism teaches that true contentment comes not from having more, but from appreciating what you already have. When you practice gratitude, you begin to see that you have enough, that life is full of blessings if you take the time to notice them. This shift in perspective has a powerful effect on your overall sense of well-being. Gratitude reduces stress, lowers anxiety, and helps you maintain a positive outlook, even in difficult times. It's not about pretending everything is perfect, but about recognizing that, despite the imperfections, there is still so much to be thankful for. This mindset helps you navigate challenges with grace and resilience. Gratitude also deepens your connection to others. When you take time to appreciate the people in your life, you strengthen your relationships. Stoicism reminds us that human connections are one of the greatest sources of joy, and by expressing gratitude for the presence of loved ones, we create bonds that are built on mutual appreciation and respect. There's a quiet power in acknowledging the kindness of others. Whether it's a friend's support during tough times, a colleague's assistance at work, or even a stranger's simple gesture of goodwill, recognizing these moments of kindness fosters a sense of interconnectedness. Gratitude reminds us that we are never truly alone, and that life's richness is often found in our relationships with others. Gratitude doesn't just benefit your relationships with others, it also improves your relationship with yourself. By practicing gratitude, you begin to let go of the harsh self-criticism that many of us carry. You stop focusing on your perceived shortcomings and start recognizing your own strengths and growth. This shift allows you to treat yourself with more compassion and kindness, which in turn supports your personal development. The Stoics understood that gratitude is a choice. In any given moment, you can choose to focus on what's wrong, or you can choose to focus on what's right. This choice is within your control, and it has the power to transform your entire outlook on life. When you consistently choose gratitude, you train your mind to look for the good, even in difficult situations. Gratitude also fosters humility. It reminds you that much of what you have, whether it's a statement that you are not defined by others' opinions. Another benefit of choosing to walk away is that it sets a clear standard for how you expect to be treated. When you remain in situations where your boundaries are ignored or dismissed, it can send the message that you are willing to accept disrespect. Walking away, on the other hand, establishes a boundary that is unmistakable. You will not tolerate treatment that undermines your worth. This act of leaving shows others that you expect respect and consideration, setting a powerful example that encourages others to approach you with integrity. Walking away isn't about rejecting others. It's about protecting yourself and reinforcing the standards you've set for your interactions. Walking away can also prevent escalation, allowing you to leave a situation before it becomes more intense or harmful. In moments of conflict or boundary testing, emotions can quickly rise, and conversations can devolve into arguments that leave everyone feeling worse. By choosing to exit calmly, you take control of the situation, removing yourself before it has the chance to spiral. This choice to walk away with composure communicates a sense of dignity and self-restraint, showing that you are committed to maintaining peace rather than contributing to unnecessary conflict. This restraint reflects maturity and wisdom, allowing you to navigate challenges with a sense of grace. Choosing to walk away also reinforces your autonomy and independence. When someone repeatedly pushes against your boundaries, they may be seeking to control or influence your actions. By walking away, you assert that your choices are your own, free from external pressure or manipulation. This act of leaving shows that you hold the power in your interactions and that you are unwilling to compromise your freedom for the sake of appeasing others. Walking away is a powerful reminder that you are in control of your own path, reinforcing your independence and self-determination. Another powerful effect of walking away is that it creates a space for self-reflection. When you leave a situation, you gain the distance needed to process what happened, reflect on your feelings, and decide on your next steps. This time away allows you to assess whether the relationship or interaction aligns with your values and whether it's worth revisiting in the future. Self-reflection enables you to make thoughtful decisions, ensuring that any future interactions are intentional and supportive of your well-being. Walking away thus becomes not just an escape, but an opportunity for growth and clarity. Walking away can also inspire respect from others, as it shows that you are not afraid to stand up for yourself in the most definitive way. This willingness to leave when boundaries are crossed signals that you value yourself highly and will not tolerate behavior that undermines your dignity. Often, this decisive action can encourage others to reflect on their behavior and approach you with more respect in the future. By walking away, you set a precedent, making it clear that respect is non-negotiable. This courage to remove yourself from disrespectful situations reinforces your integrity and establishes a standard that others are likely to remember. Choosing to walk away also builds resilience, as it teaches you to let go of situations that do not serve you. When you repeatedly expose yourself to environments or people who test your boundaries, it can weaken your resolve and create feelings of helplessness. By walking away, you take back control, reminding yourself that you are not obligated to remain in spaces that diminish your self-worth. This resilience helps you face future challenges with greater confidence, knowing that you have the strength to remove yourself from situations that don't support your growth. Walking away becomes a testament to your commitment to yourself, reinforcing a sense of inner strength and stability. Walking away also fosters emotional intelligence, as it encourages you to recognize when a situation is beyond constructive engagement. Emotional intelligence involves knowing when to invest in a relationship and when to let go, understanding that not every interaction will lead to positive outcomes. By walking away, you demonstrate the wisdom to acknowledge that some situations are better left behind. This awareness protects you from unnecessary emotional turmoil, allowing you to focus on relationships and environments that genuinely support your well-being. Walking away thus becomes a choice rooted in emotional clarity, helping you prioritize meaningful connections. The act of walking away can also serve as a catalyst for personal transformation. When you leave behind situations that test or disregard your boundaries, you create space for new opportunities and experiences that align with your values. Walking away signifies a willingness to embrace change, recognizing that growth often requires letting go of what no longer serves you. This decision opens the door to self-discovery as you learn more about your own needs, values, and aspirations. Walking away becomes an act of self-liberation, allowing you to pursue a life that truly reflects who you are. Walking away also strengthens your commitment to self-care. In situations where boundaries are repeatedly tested, the emotional toll can be immense, leading to stress, anxiety, or even resentment. By choosing to walk away, you prioritize your mental and emotional health, acknowledging that peace is more valuable than enduring toxic interactions. This choice to protect your well-being reinforces the idea that self-care is not selfish, it's essential. Walking away becomes a profound expression of self-care, affirming that you deserve environments and relationships that uplift rather than deplete you. In situations involving persistent boundary testing, walking away also provides a lasting sense of closure. Staying in toxic or challenging environments often leads to unresolved issues and lingering frustration, as boundaries are continually ignored or dismissed. Walking away allows you to close that chapter, freeing you from the cycle of conflict and opening the path to healing. This act of leaving is a final statement, a decision to prioritize your peace over unresolved conflict. Walking away thus offers closure, helping you move forward without the emotional weight of unfinished disputes. Walking away can also inspire others to evaluate their own boundaries and choices. When people witness your decision to leave a situation that no longer aligns with your values, it often encourages them to reflect on their own circumstances. This act of standing up for yourself sets an example, showing others that they too have the power to protect their peace. Walking away, therefore, becomes not just a personal choice, but a message to those around you, demonstrating that self-respect is a powerful and transformative act. Ultimately, walking away reinforces a life lived with intention. By choosing not to remain in situations that compromise your values, you affirm that your path is one of purpose and authenticity. Walking away is a reminder that life is too valuable to be spent in environments that undermine your worth. This commitment to living with intention fosters a sense of fulfillment as you align each decision with your core beliefs. Walking away becomes a profound act of self-empowerment, a declaration that you will not settle for anything less than respect and peace. In mastering the art of walking away, you strengthen every boundary you have set, embodying a deep respect for yourself and your journey. This powerful choice allows you to live with integrity, prioritizing your well-being and protecting your peace. Walking away is a lasting expression of self-respect, an unwavering commitment to a life rooted in authenticity, strength, and inner calm. Building on the strength of knowing when to walk away, the next vital skill is learning to communicate assertively without losing your inner strength. Assertive communication is about expressing your needs and boundaries clearly and respectfully, all while maintaining control of your emotions and reactions. This approach not only ensures that your message is understood, but also demonstrates your self-respect and commitment to your values. By mastering assertive communication, you convey strength, integrity, and confidence, showing others that your boundaries are firm, yet conveyed with calm clarity. A core principle of assertive communication is directness. This means stating your needs, desires, or boundaries in a straightforward manner, without veering into ambiguity. When you communicate directly, you avoid confusion and misunderstandings, which are often at the root of boundary conflicts. Directness allows you to be precise, telling others exactly what you need without leaving room for assumptions. This clarity is empowering, as it reinforces that your boundaries are non-negotiable and are not subject to misinterpretation. When you speak with this level of clarity, you send a strong message that your boundaries are both thoughtful and intentional. Equally important in assertive communication is a calm tone. Tone of voice can heavily influence how your message is received. When you speak calmly, you project control and confidence, showing that you are grounded in your values. A calm tone signals that you are neither defensive nor aggressive, but are speaking from a place of inner assurance. This demeanor makes it clear that your boundaries are firm without inviting conflict. Others are more likely to respond respectfully to a calm tone, as it creates an environment that encourages understanding rather than escalation. Assertive communication also requires you to be mindful of body language. Non-verbal cues such as eye contact, posture, and gestures play a significant role in conveying assertiveness. When you maintain an open posture, hold steady eye contact, and avoid defensive gestures, you project confidence and certainty. This body language reinforces your words, showing that you are fully committed to your message. Assertive body language acts as a silent support to your verbal expression, creating a powerful combination that communicates both clarity and strength. Using I statements is another key technique in assertive communication. Phrasing your boundaries with statements like "I need" or "I feel" keeps the focus on your experience rather than placing blame. This approach prevents others from feeling attacked, reducing defensiveness and promoting a more constructive response. By speaking from your own perspective, you take ownership of your boundaries, showing that they are rooted in self-awareness rather than reaction to others. This use of I statements makes your communication both clear and respectful, ensuring that your needs are expressed without inviting conflict. Choosing assertive language is also essential in maintaining power in communication. Words matter, and selecting language that is both clear and respectful allows you to set boundaries without appearing confrontational. Instead of using words that may sound harsh or absolute, such as "you always" or "you never," which can trigger defensiveness, choose words that communicate your needs in a firm but gentle way. Phrases like "I would appreciate it if" or "it's important for me that" help set boundaries while maintaining respect. This careful choice of words keeps the focus on your needs, reinforcing your boundaries without compromising your tone. Assertiveness also involves knowing when to pause. Pausing before responding allows you to gather your thoughts and respond from a place of calm, even in potentially tense situations. This pause shows that you are thoughtful in your communication, not rushing to defend or retaliate. By giving yourself a moment, you can ensure that your response aligns with your true intentions rather than being a reaction to the moment's emotions. This brief moment of silence before you respond adds weight to your words, giving your communication a deliberate and grounded quality. Establishing consistency in your communication also reinforces assertive boundaries. When you communicate your needs consistently, others come to understand that your boundaries are not flexible or situational, but are an integral part of who you are. Consistency removes ambiguity, preventing others from testing your limits. By consistently asserting your boundaries, you demonstrate that they are based on enduring values rather than temporary emotions. This steadiness builds trust, showing others that they can rely on you to communicate clearly and directly in all situations. Setting boundaries assertively also involves being prepared for potential pushback. Not everyone will accept your boundaries immediately, and some may challenge them. When this happens, staying calm and reaffirming your boundary without escalating the situation is essential. This calm persistence shows that you are unshaken by others' reactions, reinforcing that your boundaries are not up for debate. By anticipating resistance and maintaining your stance, you demonstrate a level of self-respect that others cannot easily undermine. This resilience further strengthens your assertive communication, showing that you value your peace over immediate approval. Assertive communication also includes the ability to say no firmly and kindly. Many people struggle with saying no, often out of fear of disappointing others or seeming uncooperative. However, saying no when necessary is an act of self-respect that strengthens your boundaries. When you say no with clarity and kindness, you convey that your boundaries are more important than temporary discomfort. This refusal doesn't have to be harsh. It can be expressed in a way that acknowledges others' needs while still honoring your own. A well-placed no is a powerful tool in assertive communication, setting a clear line without compromising compassion. Listening actively is another key aspect of assertive communication. When you communicate boundaries, showing that you're willing to listen to the other person's perspective creates a balanced dialogue. Active listening demonstrates respect, signaling that you are open to understanding their view while remaining firm in your own needs. This balanced approach fosters mutual respect, as it encourages others to listen to you as well. Active listening shows that assertiveness is not about dominance, but about creating a respectful exchange, reinforcing the message that you value both your boundaries and the relationship. Assertive communication also means letting go of the need for immediate resolution. Some situations may take time to resolve, and trying to force an outcome can compromise your power in the conversation. By allowing the situation to unfold naturally, you maintain control over your own reactions rather than pushing for a specific response from others. This patience shows that you are secure in your boundary setting, allowing others the time to process your needs without feeling pressured. This patience reinforces the strength of your communication, showing that you are confident in your stance and unhurried in seeking validation. Incorporating empathy into assertive communication can also enhance its effectiveness. Empathy doesn't mean compromising your boundaries. It means recognizing the other person's feelings and perspective without sacrificing your own needs. By expressing empathy, you create an environment where boundaries are discussed with care rather than confrontation. This compassionate approach allows for a more open dialogue, encouraging others to respect your boundaries willingly rather than feeling forced to comply. Empathy in communication reinforces your boundaries by showing that they are rooted in respect for both yourself and others. Using assertive communication also involves focusing on the outcome you desire rather than the immediate reaction of others. When you communicate with the long-term goal in mind, it becomes easier to stay calm and composed, even if others initially resist. By keeping your focus on the outcome, whether it's a healthier relationship, a more peaceful work environment, or personal well-being, you reinforce your commitment to your boundaries. This future-oriented perspective gives you the patience to navigate any challenges, knowing that each step you take supports your larger goals. Another powerful aspect of assertive communication is maintaining self-respect throughout the interaction. When you speak from a place of self-respect, it's evident in your words, tone, and demeanor. This respect for yourself conveys that you won't compromise your boundaries, no matter the circumstances. By remaining true to your values, you reinforce the idea that your boundaries are not about control, but about honoring your self-worth. Self-respect becomes the foundation of assertive communication, making it clear that you will communicate your needs without undermining your principles. In mastering assertive communication, you create a powerful balance of strength and respect, ensuring that your boundaries are both clear and compassionate. Assertiveness is not about dominating others, but about expressing yourself with honesty, clarity, and respect. Each time you communicate assertively, you reinforce your self-worth and set a precedent for healthy interactions. This approach empowers you to handle any situation with grace, knowing that your boundaries are respected and upheld. Assertive communication allows you to live authentically, expressing your needs without diminishing others or compromising your integrity. This strength in communication becomes a valuable tool in building relationships, managing conflicts, and achieving your goals, all while preserving your inner power and peace. As we move from the empowering stance of assertive communication, the next step is perhaps the most transformative of all, turning your focus inward. Concentrating on yourself is not about ignoring the world, but about realigning with your core values, personal goals, and inner peace. In Stoicism, this commitment to self-focus is key to a life of resilience and fulfillment. By focusing on your inner world, you cultivate strength, clarity, and a sense of purpose that no external influence can shake. This approach allows you to build a life that reflects your values, empowering you to shape your reality with intention and confidence. One of the first aspects of concentrating on yourself is learning to define what truly matters to you. Many people go through life chasing goals and expectations set by others, whether family, society, or even friends. By shifting focus to your own values and desires, you begin the process of understanding who you are and what you want. This self-knowledge becomes the foundation upon which you can build a fulfilling life. Defining what matters helps you to filter out distractions and external pressures, allowing you to concentrate on goals that bring genuine satisfaction rather than fleeting approval. Focusing on your own growth also allows you to let go of comparison. When you concentrate on yourself, you stop measuring your progress against others' lives and achievements. Comparison often leads to feelings of inadequacy and envy, pulling you away from your own journey. By focusing solely on your path, you eliminate the distractions of others' successes or failures, freeing yourself to make progress at your own pace. This shift fosters a sense of inner peace and self-confidence, as you come to see that your worth is not tied to others' accomplishments. Concentrating on yourself provides the clarity to recognize that your journey is unique and worthy of respect, regardless of outside perceptions. Another key benefit of focusing on yourself is that it builds resilience. When you are rooted in self-awareness, you develop the strength to face challenges without becoming overwhelmed. Life's obstacles no longer seem as daunting when you understand your own capacity to grow, adapt, and overcome. This resilience is not about denying struggles, but about finding the courage within to face them. Concentrating on your inner strength and abilities helps you to navigate hardships with a calm and determined mindset, knowing that each challenge contributes to your growth. Embracing solitude is also a powerful way to deepen self-focus. Time spent alone offers a unique opportunity to reflect, recharge, and connect with your innermost thoughts and feelings. Solitude becomes a space where you can silence external influences and truly listen to yourself. This quiet time fosters creativity, introspection, and clarity, allowing you to explore aspects of yourself that might otherwise go unnoticed in the noise of daily life. In solitude, you find a sense of wholeness that reminds you that fulfillment comes from within, not from external validation. Practicing mindfulness is another valuable tool in the journey of self-concentration. Mindfulness encourages you to remain present, fully engaged with each moment, rather than being caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. By focusing on the present, you connect deeply with your own experience, developing a stronger sense of self-awareness. Mindfulness teaches you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, helping you to understand yourself on a profound level. This practice creates a solid foundation for self-growth, as it fosters acceptance and compassion toward yourself. Focusing on personal goals rather than societal expectations further empowers you to create a life aligned with your true desires. Many people pursue careers, relationships, or lifestyles based on what they think they should do rather than what they genuinely want. By redirecting your energy toward goals that reflect your values, you create a path that feels authentic and fulfilling. Pursuing personal goals gives you a sense of purpose and direction, keeping you motivated and engaged. Concentrating on what truly resonates with you becomes a source of strength, allowing you to move forward with confidence and clarity. In concentrating on yourself, cultivating a growth mindset is essential. A growth mindset views challenges and setbacks as opportunities for learning and improvement rather than as failures. This perspective encourages you to embrace mistakes and uncertainties as part of the journey, fostering resilience and adaptability. A growth mindset helps you approach each experience as a chance to develop new skills, expand your knowledge, and deepen your understanding of yourself. This dedication to personal growth reinforces your commitment to self-focus, as it reminds you that you have the power to shape your life through continuous learning. Focusing on self-care also becomes an act of self-respect and empowerment. Taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental health shows that you value yourself and are committed to your well-being. Self-care is not indulgence, it's the foundation of a balanced, fulfilling life. By prioritizing activities that nourish your body and mind, you reinforce your commitment to yourself, creating a stable base from which you can pursue your goals. Self-care practices remind you that you are worthy of kindness, patience, and attention, all of which fuel your journey of self-growth. Gratitude is another powerful component of concentrating on yourself. Practicing gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's present, creating a mindset of abundance and fulfillment. By appreciating what you already have, you reduce the desire for constant external validation, as you come to see that your life is already rich and meaningful. Gratitude fosters a sense of contentment that strengthens your inner peace, reinforcing the idea that fulfillment comes from within. This gratitude-centered perspective empowers you to focus on your own happiness, regardless of external circumstances. Learning to say no is also a vital skill in concentrating on yourself. Saying no allows you to protect your time, energy, and resources, ensuring that they are directed toward your own growth and well-being. Many people struggle with saying no, often out of fear of disappointing others or appearing unkind. However, learning to say no with confidence is an act of self-respect that reinforces your boundaries. It shows that you are committed to prioritizing yourself and your goals, even if it means disappointing others. This ability to say no is empowering, as it enables you to create a life that aligns with your values. Practicing acceptance is also central to focusing on yourself. Acceptance means embracing both your strengths and weaknesses, understanding that growth is a journey that involves imperfections. By accepting yourself fully, you create a foundation of self-love that supports your efforts to change and improve. This acceptance prevents you from being overly self-critical, allowing you to approach challenges with patience and compassion. When you concentrate on acceptance, you build resilience and confidence, as you know that your worth is not contingent on perfection, but on your commitment to growth. Developing a sense of purpose is also fundamental in concentrating on yourself. Purpose gives your life direction, providing motivation and meaning that extend beyond day-to-day tasks. By identifying what truly inspires you, you gain a clear sense of why you are pursuing certain goals. This purpose-driven mindset keeps you grounded, as you know that your actions are aligned with a higher vision. Concentrating on your purpose allows you to navigate life with focus, knowing that your efforts contribute to a meaningful and fulfilling journey. Building healthy relationships that support your growth is another important aspect of focusing on yourself. Surrounding yourself with people who respect, encourage, and uplift you creates an environment that fosters self-improvement. These supportive relationships act as a source of motivation, reminding you that you are not alone in your journey. By cultivating connections that align with your values, you create a network that enhances your self-focus rather than detracting from it. Healthy relationships provide strength, allowing you to concentrate on your growth with the encouragement of those who genuinely care. Practicing patience with yourself is also crucial in concentrating on personal change. Change is a gradual process, and expecting immediate results can lead to frustration and self-doubt. By being patient with yourself, you acknowledge that growth takes time and effort, allowing you to move forward at your own pace. Patience fosters a sense of peace, as it reminds you that progress, no matter how slow, is still progress. This mindset of patience reinforces your commitment to self-focus, as it teaches you to appreciate each step of your journey. As you focus on yourself, cultivating discipline becomes essential. Discipline enables you to stay committed to your goals, even when motivation wanes or distractions arise. By developing daily habits that support your growth, you create a structured approach to self-improvement. Discipline reinforces your dedication to your values, as it reminds you that true change requires consistent effort. This commitment to discipline empowers you to move forward steadily, building a life that reflects your aspirations and intentions. In concentrating on yourself, you develop a profound sense of self-awareness that guides every decision you make. This awareness allows you to navigate life with confidence and clarity, knowing that your actions are aligned with your values. Self-focus is not isolation. It's a dedication to understanding and nurturing who you are at your core. By concentrating on yourself, you build a life of fulfillment, purpose, and inner strength, grounded in a commitment to your own growth and well-being. Transitioning from the empowering practice of focusing on oneself, the next step toward a more fulfilling life is learning what to let go. In the spirit of Stoicism, some things don't serve our growth or peace. They drain our energy and cloud our clarity. Silently eliminating unnecessary habits, thoughts, or influences from your life clears space for inner peace and resilience. This approach isn't about cutting ties harshly. It's about thoughtfully creating a life that aligns with your values and goals. Releasing these things will leave you with more room to focus on what truly matters, making each day feel lighter and more purposeful. The first thing to consider eliminating is negative self-talk. Self-criticism might feel like a motivator, but it often holds us back by filling our minds with doubt and fear. By silencing negative self-talk, you create a space for positive, constructive thinking. Shifting your internal dialogue allows you to see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. The practice of letting go of self-criticism helps you approach life with confidence, nurturing a mindset that's ready to grow instead of holding back. Letting go of the need for constant validation is also essential. In a world that often pressures us to seek approval from others, learning to find worth within is liberating. Seeking external validation can become exhausting, leaving us feeling unfulfilled. When you eliminate this need, you begin to trust your own judgment and values. You recognize that true self-worth comes from living authentically, not from others' opinions. Releasing this habit brings you closer to a life of genuine self-respect. Removing toxic relationships from your life is another significant step. Relationships should uplift, inspire, and support your growth. If you find yourself constantly drained or undervalued, it might be time to step back. Letting go of toxic relationships doesn't mean holding grudges. It means creating boundaries that protect your peace. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people enables you to thrive and find more joy in everyday interactions. Eliminating procrastination is another way to create a life of purpose. Procrastination might offer temporary relief, but it often leads to stress and a sense of unfulfillment. When you let go of this habit, you open doors to achievement and progress. Developing a habit of action, even in small steps, builds momentum and self-trust. Each completed task adds to a sense of accomplishment, freeing you from the weight of delay. Releasing grudges and resentment is a powerful act of self-liberation. Holding on to anger toward others keeps you stuck in the past, affecting your present peace and future potential. Letting go of resentment allows you to move forward without emotional baggage. By forgiving, you release yourself from the grip of past hurts, creating space for joy and gratitude. This choice is not about excusing behavior, but about freeing yourself from the control of negative emotions. Letting go of the fear of failure is crucial for growth. Fear of failure often prevents us from taking meaningful risks and pursuing our dreams. When you silence this fear, you begin to see setbacks as valuable lessons rather than threats. This mindset shift encourages you to embrace challenges with resilience and curiosity. Embracing failure as part of growth allows you to step into new opportunities with courage, knowing that every experience adds to your journey. Eliminating excess material possessions is another Stoic principle that leads to greater peace. Holding on to unnecessary belongings can create physical and mental clutter, making it difficult to find focus. By simplifying your surroundings, you create an environment that supports clarity and calm. Releasing material attachments reminds you that your value isn't tied to things, but to your experiences, relationships, and inner qualities. Silencing the impulse to gossip is a subtle yet impactful change. Gossip often distracts us from our own lives, pulling us into judgment and negativity. Choosing to avoid gossip fosters an environment of respect and positivity. When you focus on speaking kindly, you cultivate a reputation of integrity and trust. This habit shift enhances your relationships and brings peace to your interactions, reinforcing a mindset that values understanding over judgment. Letting go of the habit of overworking is essential for a balanced life. Constantly pushing yourself to the point of burnout leaves little room for joy and creativity. When you release the need to overwork, you allow yourself time to rest, recharge, and reconnect with what brings you happiness. This balance makes you more productive in the long run as you approach work with renewed energy and purpose rather than exhaustion. Releasing the habit of overthinking is also freeing. Overthinking keeps you trapped in endless loops of doubt, often leading to anxiety and indecision. Letting go of this habit allows you to trust your instincts and make decisions more confidently. Accepting that not everything requires exhaustive analysis opens up mental space for clarity and calm, empowering you to take action without fear of making mistakes. Silencing the need to control others is another Stoic practice that brings freedom. Attempting to control people or situations creates tension and often leads to disappointment. By letting go of this habit, you learn to accept that others have their own paths and choices. This release of control fosters patience and understanding, allowing you to focus on what you can influence, your own actions and responses. This approach brings peace to your relationships as you embrace others' autonomy without trying to change them. Removing self-imposed limitations is a powerful way to unlock your potential. Often, we hold ourselves back by believing we're not capable or worthy of certain achievements. Letting go of these limiting beliefs allows you to pursue goals with confidence. By challenging these self-imposed restrictions, you create opportunities for growth and success. This change in mindset reinforces that your capabilities are defined by effort and determination, not by perceived boundaries. Eliminating distractions from your life creates more time and focus for what truly matters. Distractions, whether digital or environmental, can fragment your attention and prevent you from making meaningful progress. By reducing these distractions, you reclaim control over your time and energy. Focusing on purposeful activities allows you to engage deeply, bringing a sense of fulfillment and achievement to each day. Letting go of regret is another step toward a lighter life. Regret ties you to past choices, making it difficult to embrace the present. When you release regret, you forgive yourself and allow yourself to learn from your experiences. This choice to let go of regret brings freedom, helping you to move forward without the weight of past mistakes. Embracing each day as a fresh start brings renewed optimism and openness to new possibilities. Removing the pressure to always say yes is essential for honoring your own needs. Constantly agreeing to others' requests can leave you feeling depleted and resentful. Learning to say no when necessary protects your energy and allows you to focus on what aligns with your values. This shift empowers you to make choices that support your well-being, fostering a life that reflects your true priorities. Each of these choices, whether it's releasing regret, letting go of material possessions, or setting boundaries, creates more space for peace, growth, and fulfillment. By silently eliminating these influences from your life, you make room for a more intentional and joyful existence, one guided by purpose and inner strength. Building on the ability to reclaim control over your life, one of the most insidious tactics you may encounter is gaslighting, when someone subtly distorts your reality, making you question your own thoughts, feelings, or perceptions. Gaslighting can erode your confidence, distort your sense of self, and leave you feeling vulnerable and unsure. Recognizing gaslighting is crucial to preserving your mental clarity and emotional stability. With the right tools, you can respond to gaslighting with assertive clarity, reinforcing your sense of self and ensuring that you remain grounded in your own reality, no matter the tactics others may employ. One of the first indicators of gaslighting is the consistent dismissal of your feelings or experiences. Gaslighters often use phrases like, "you're overreacting," or "you're being too sensitive," which subtly imply that your emotional responses are invalid or exaggerated. By recognizing this pattern, you remind yourself that your feelings are valid and meaningful. Rather than questioning your reactions, you can acknowledge them with clarity, reinforcing that your emotions are real and legitimate. When you give yourself permission to feel without self-doubt, you take a powerful step in countering the effects of gaslighting. Another tactic gaslighters use is to make you doubt your memory. They might say, "That's not how it happened," or "You're remembering it wrong." Over time, this repeated questioning of your memory can make you feel uncertain about events you were once sure of. Recognizing this technique allows you to protect your sense of memory and perspective. Keeping a record of important events, conversations, or decisions can be an effective way to stay grounded. By having tangible reminders of your experiences, you can maintain a strong connection to your reality, providing a reference point when someone tries to distort the past. Gaslighters also tend to project their own faults onto you, blaming you for things that they themselves are doing. This deflection technique can make you feel responsible for issues that are not actually within your control. When you recognize projection, you can separate their behavior from your own self-image, reinforcing that you are not responsible for others' actions or shortcomings. This clarity helps you to avoid taking on misplaced guilt, strengthening your boundaries and reinforcing that you will not allow someone else's issues to redefine your sense of self. Subtle or blatant lies are another tool gaslighters use to distort reality. They might deny things that happened, make up facts, or tell half-truths to keep you feeling uncertain. Recognizing lies as a part of gaslighting helps you maintain your inner clarity as you learn to trust your own observations. Instead of getting caught in a web of deception, focusing on your own truth helps you resist their distortions. By keeping the focus on your direct experience and not getting sidetracked by falsehoods, you establish a mental boundary that prevents lies from affecting your perception. Gaslighters frequently attempt to isolate you, subtly discouraging you from seeking outside perspectives by implying that others wouldn't understand or don't care. This tactic is meant to make you feel dependent on them, removing the support of friends or family who might offer a different viewpoint. Recognizing this isolation tactic empowers you to seek trusted perspectives. Connecting with people you trust, discussing your experiences, and gaining external validation helps keep you grounded. By resisting isolation, you protect your mental clarity, reaffirming that your perceptions are real and that you're not alone in facing these challenges. Another hallmark of gaslighting is the constant shifting of blame. Gaslighters avoid taking responsibility by twisting situations to make it seem like you are at fault, regardless of the circumstances. This relentless blame shifting can erode your confidence, making you question your own decisions. Recognizing this tactic allows you to hold on to your self-assurance, knowing that you are not solely responsible for every issue. By refusing to accept undue blame, you reinforce your own boundaries and maintain a balanced view of shared responsibility. Gaslighters also frequently use subtle put-downs disguised as jokes or teasing, which they later dismiss as just kidding if you react. These hidden criticisms chip away at your self-esteem, making you second-guess your worth or abilities. Recognizing this behavior allows you to assertively address it, making it clear that such comments are not acceptable. By calmly acknowledging how these remarks affect you, you take a stand for your self-respect, demonstrating that you will not allow passive criticism to undermine your confidence. Another tactic is the use of selective memory, where a gaslighter conveniently forgets things they previously agreed to or committed to, leaving you feeling confused or as though you're asking for too much. Recognizing selective memory as part of gaslighting helps you stay clear about your expectations. Keeping a record of important agreements can serve as a reference point, ensuring that you have a concrete basis for your boundaries. This approach prevents selective memory from clouding your judgment, reinforcing that your needs and boundaries are consistent and valid. Minimization, or downplaying your concerns, is another form of gaslighting that subtly makes you feel as though your issues are trivial. Gaslighters might say, "It's not that big of a deal," or "You're making this into something it's not." Recognizing minimization as a tactic helps you stay confident in the importance of your concerns. By trusting your own perspective, you refuse to let others downplay what matters to you. This resilience keeps you grounded in your own reality, reinforcing